Okay, so if you're following along with us in the Getting Started with Landmarks tutorials, we just created a scene from scratch that is ready to work with landmarks, and we'll show you how to make it work by adding tasks, by just dragging and dropping some task prefabs into the scene. We'll do that in the next video. This video should be pretty short. I just want to show you, some of you might have been wondering, well, what if I already had an environment that was working, or that I was using, or that I designed to do a navigation experiment, and I really just want to move it to landmarks, but I don't want to deal with the hassle of that. So here is the exact same environment that we built in the video preceding this one, but here in the hierarchy you can see that there's no landmarks components to it. It's just a bunch of game objects that don't really do anything. And so if we hit play, it should just be a static camera view here. Yeah, and you can see I'm trying to move around and we really can't do anything there. And so in order to get that working, and some of you may have noticed previously we had this kind of darkening on the lighting. If you're having that issue, then just go ahead and go to Window, Rendering, Lighting Settings, and then down at the bottom here, click on Auto Generate, and that should get rid of that issue for you. So now, how can we take this environment and get it essentially where we were in the last video, as though we had built this for landmarks in the first place? So really, you're just going to do a very similar procedure. So if you have any directional lights or cameras in the scene, just go ahead and delete them out. Perfect. Alright, let's see, the lighting goes wonky for a little bit. And then just like if we were creating a new scene, you're just going to go into Landmarks, Package, into Prefabs, and just drag and drop the Landmarks prefab in there again. And then really, we're building the environment here, so we got to think about where things from our existing environment should go. So we know that these objects here, these geometric objects, are what we want to use as targets. Just go ahead and drag and drop them into target objects. Unity should keep their position constant, or keep them where they are, and update that for you. You can see that happens here, and that's all relative to this one. And then really the rest of it is mostly just for organization. You could just leave these other objects laying out in the middle of nowhere here next to landmarks. My recommendation would be to take and drag them into filler props. So anything that really is just kind of there for the sake of looks, drag it into filler props just so that it's organized and stashed away, so that, you know, if you're trying to deal with your experiment, you can easily, you know, mess with target objects or deal with the experiment without having this, list of up to, you could have hundreds of game objects in there cluttering up the space here. And that's it. Essentially now we're right back where we were at the end of the last video, but in this case we were able to take an environment that existed and was not set up for landmarks, and just really quickly, just through, it's just organization in the prefab, we can get that all set up. So in the next video I'll show you how to take the scene that you've created from either this video or the previous one, and I'll show you how to add some drag and drop experiment tasks, including learning the target identities, navigating to the targets in the environment, and answering questions about the relative positions of those targets. So hope to see you in the next video here.